You've been dream chasing for a long time now, and finally you're accomplishing your goals. But what's next? In this installment of the Bizz Plan, we speak with entrepreneur Issa Rae as she explains the other side of success.
I'm really happy with my career so far, but I'm super tired of asking for permission. Absolutely fucking tired. And it's not to sound entitled or anything, but it's just that I don't like to ask permission to tell our stories, to tell my stories. I don't like asking for permission for money to be able to produce what I want to produce. I want to be in a position where I'm beyond that and where it's like, I have an idea and I'm gonna do it. On a very small scale, I was able to do that in the past with the internet. But now that there are higher expectations, now I guess I'm on a higher level and a higher tier of, again, having to ask people to let me in, and that's very frustrating. And I'm still growing, I'm still moving forward, I still have a lot to prove, and so I think the asking for permission sentiment comes from just feeling like I'm stagnant and that I'm not able to move forward because there are constantly doors being built to block my entry. It's a little bit disconcerting, and not even in an egotistical way, but just to have to take a step back and say, oh, okay, so I have to change this to fit your mold and your standard and your formula, even though what I've produced in the past already works for a specific audience. Now you want me to sort of change that to fit what you want. I'm confident that if I sneak under the gate, go over the gate, break in, if I continue to do that, then I'll reach a point where I won't have to ask for permission. But it just seems like a long ways away, and I'm a very, very impatient person. And being an impatient person, being an impulsive person is what's gotten me to this point thus far, so I guess I'm gonna have to keep doing that to make progress. I've been very fortunate enough to come this far and still have friends intact and be able to work with some friends. And the positive side is you know your friends' capabilities, you know their loyalties. So if, I don't like you today, it's my mood. It's not anything personal. The downside to working with friends is that, one, you know their capabilities. So sometimes they can't go as far with you as you'd like them to because you know that they might not have the skill set, they may not have the drive, they may not have the motivation. The other downside is that sometimes egos get in the way. And sometimes, especially if they're friends that have known you a long time, they've known you before you've achieved some level of success, they may view you differently. And they may say, like, bitch, I know you ain't shit. You're still not shit. And you're acting in a certain way that suggests otherwise. And that might play a huge role in friendship sort of dissipating in a way, because it might be jealousy, which I hate to say, or it might just be fear that you're gonna leave them behind. But I've seen that happen in many instances, and it hurts. It's all good to care about your team, and it's all good to, care about the well-being of others, but if it's compromising your well-being, then there's a problem. Sometimes it's hard, especially being a woman, to tout your accomplishments, to say, I am qualified to do this, I know what the fuck I'm doing, this is my shit, and this is what I have done and I have created, so I know what I'm doing, back off. Sometimes it's hard to say that, but you really have to take the time and, one, analyze what it is that you've built, what it is that you've created, and pick a vision for it. Like, pick a lane, pick a path for it, and stay on that path. And whether you're setting a year plan, a 6-month plan, a 2-year, 3-year, 5, whatever plan, you have to look and examine at that particular point in time and say, am I on that path? Am I building what it is that I want to be building, and am I still on track? And if you're doing something that may benefit you personally and not your brand, you'll know that because you've laid that plan out. So when I first met Benoni, one of the first things I remember he told me that stuck with me even now after all these years is to prepare to be successful. One of the stories that I remember him telling me is about a YouTuber friend that he knew that all of a sudden got this overnight success, and he just ended up pretty much flatlining over the course of time, and he could never reach that peak because he wasn't prepared to be successful at the end of the day. He didn't have the tools and traps set in place to say, oh my gosh, I'm here, but I'm ready. I've reached the point where there's critical mass, but I'm ready to handle it because I have all the steps in place. And that's a scary thing because even putting out ABG, I wasn't prepared to be successful. I was just putting something out because I felt like obligated to, because I was complaining so much about what wasn't there and because I wanted to see it, but I was not prepared for it to take off in the way that it did. And so now with every project, no matter if it's a failure, I am always having the steps in place and I'm always ready for it to take off. Because I don't want to be in a position where I'm like, oh, I wasn't expecting that. What do I do now? What happens? And then people disappear because they're tired of you and they have a short attention span. A question that I get a lot every day, whether I post a picture of my grandmother or I post a picture of myself eating at a restaurant, is ABG coming back? Are we getting season 3 of Awkward Black Girl? And it's something that in my heart of hearts, I was gonna say that I want to do, but I really don't know that I do. I don't think that I feel like we've created 2 successful seasons and we've taken it to a place where people miss it, which is great, like the Seinfeld syndrome. But I just don't want to put out anything that I don't think is good. And just even behind the scenes, it's hard with a cast that has a lot going on, with a crew that has a lot going on to, after almost 2 years, try to come back and say, hey, let's do it. But for me, I don't want to put anything out of that series unless it's amazing, and unless it's something I can 100% stand behind, and it's something that's on my terms. Because, you know, in the past I have compromised the vision just a little bit without knowing it. I would love to make it happen if it's good. So when is ABG season 3 coming? When it's fucking good. I'm Issa Rae, and this is my Bizz plan.